So this is the same one that we talked in the first diagram. Wealth can be distributed either in wasiyyah or inheritance. Again, this is max 1/3, minimum 0. Some people choose, I don't want to give anything, I want everything to be given to my relatives here. That is fine. And the power of wasiyyah basically lies in the instructions that you give. That's something that we really need to consider. And also we discussed it's the best sadaqah jariyah. Some people are not sure whether they would need money or not, so they say, if I die at that time, I won't really need money. So I want to have a lot of sadaqah jariyah by donating this money to the masjid or Islamic organization. So that's the best way really people should plan for. So inheritance, right? So now we are talking about inheritance going forward and how this is divided. So we have so many relatives now, our whole families, different families, far relatives. Who should we give the money to? How we should divide? How many relatives do we see in Quran and Ahadith? So before we get into all those fractions and everything, I want you to know these two concepts here: prescribed shares and residual shares. So the difference here is that when we say prescribed shares, these are the shares that Quran or Sunnah specifically says that this share is prescribed for this person. So the father gets 1/6, so that's now prescribed, and daughter gets, for example, 2/3, right? So that is fixed. That is coming from Quran or Sunnah. So what is residual shares then? So what happens is sometimes when we have a situation where you give all the fractions, like quarter goes to this person, quarter goes to this person, and a quarter goes to this person. So how much is left? So you have quarter left still. What do you do to that? So you have residual shares here. So there are rules who to give that remaining shares and how that should be distributed. So that's what I want you to understand. And these rules are coming from Quran and Sunnah again. But explicit fraction numbers, 1/3, 2/3, half, quarter, all these come here, prescribed shares. Okay, this is clear. Everything becomes easy now, inshallah. So today, inshallah, we will be talking detailedly about the prescribed shares itself, right? But first, before that, let's look into this diagram. I don't know if you can see this. So this is basically all the relatives who are qualified for your inheritance, and this is very interesting diagram. I'm going to keep repeating this throughout the slides. But this is the base diagram here, and I made it very simple, and inshallah this will be very easy to follow going forward. I made my own. There are a lot of complexities to it, as the Sheikh said in the beginning. This is a very complicated science. Complication basically comes when you have complicated cases. 90% of the times, most of us, we have very simple cases. Right? So we are going to deal only the simple cases, and it's very easy to follow. Even kids here who are, they can easily follow. It's not a problem. If they are good in math, they can easily understand everything. So this family tree, I want you to understand, I have 5 generations here, right? This is the generation. This is the red person is the one who died, right? Deceased. And then this is spouse. Can you see this? Spouse. This is the spouse. This can be husband or wife. And then from these two, you have son or a daughter, right? And then son has grandson and granddaughter, and this person has father and a mother, right? And from them you have full brother and full sister, right? And father has grandfather and grandmother, their parents, and this one is the uncle, obviously coming from the same parents, and then the cousin's son, cousin's grandson, and full brother's nephew, nephew's son. So mostly I think you should just focus on the right side here. This is the most important part. And this, if you notice, I did not include a lot of relatives here. I did not include them because they do not get any inheritance at all. They do not get any inheritance. And there are some complicated cases as well. I'm not going to talk about it because it's just too much for simple audience here. I mean, if you want to do research, there are books there. All resources are there. For example, here, right, I put full brother and full sister. Now it's possible that this person had, like multiple wives, right? And he had a brother, step brother from that, right? So that gets complicated. There is a way to calculate, but that's not a common case, right? Not many people have step brothers, so I'm not going to go into all those details. Same thing here, and so if you see here in this diagram, you tell me which relatives are missing. First of all, most interesting thing is this daughter you see here. I didn't put daughter's son and daughter's daughter. You notice here?
Right.
It's not there. That means that there's no way she can get money. The son and daughter, they both cannot get any money at all. Daughter will get because it's in the diagram, but daughter's son, daughter's daughter, they don't get a single penny at all. Okay? So same thing, full sister, she gets the money. It's possible she can be blocked as well, but her children cannot get any money at all. Who else is missing? Mother's father, he doesn't get anything. Mother's father doesn't get anything. Mother's mother gets something. All right, and uncle's son is your cousin, right? This is a male cousin. Female cousins don't get anything. Okay. And cousin's son, cousin's grandson, again, all male children. And we're going to talk about why certain relatives are skipped out and why certain relatives get more share than others. What's the wisdom behind it? We're going to talk about it. But know for sure now that, in Islam, the man takes care of the whole tribe, right? For example, you might see here that daughter, why is daughter, son, daughter's daughter not getting money? Because this daughter might be having husband and they will inherit from her, right? So it has to go through a male chain, yeah. So it's already covered. So it's not that daughter's daughter will never get money. It has to come from a different chain. It's more coming from male perspective here because male is the one who is responsible to take care of the family, right? And we're going to talk why that ratio varies again, by what are the wisdoms that scholars give. So again, just to make very clear here, these relatives do not get any share at all. Daughter's children, sister's children, brother's daughter even, they don't get. If you see brother's son, nephew, I don't put niece here. Alright, that's very important. There's no way brother's daughter gets money. And also mother's brother, your aunt, father's brother. You see this diagram? Father's brother can get, mother's brother cannot get. Okay? They'll be following another chain, as we said. The link here is a female link. All right? And same thing with mother's sister and father's sister and mother's father. They don't get anything. This is interesting, though. I find it interesting because mother's mother is qualified, but not mother's father. Anyways, I mean, this will take some time for you to understand and grasp everything, but as we give some examples, it will be very clear to you. And most of these relationships like this, all these, it's very rare, okay? It's very rare.